negative days.
Yeah. Dude, I was up at 6 a.m. and we started like dying. I was at the gym. I was like, wow, that's pretty far.
Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning.
Good morning.
Dude, what an overnight session, dude. Disgusting.
Yeah. I am thankfully up. I had some really nice trades.
Open in a couple seconds here.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, any
Good
thoughts?
morning. Give it a few minutes for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I already
as of
had
right
fun.
Now, like I see EMAs are bearish on 10-minute price below VWAP, CVC short, so I feel like we see a little bit of continuation to the downside, maybe down to 18,032. There's like a little, neckline there for the inverse head and shoulders. I've had a couple scalps this morning, but other than that, like everyone else said, I'm going to be a little patient. Maybe I might just jump into a trade. I don't know. We'll see how I get provoked.
Okay, I'm gonna give this a minute here. Fix is at 45 this morning.
I took the NQ short for a bill breaker.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bingo, 30-point gain, NQ covered half.
Nice short.
Also, some quick notes for the listeners. The market is extremely volatile right now. I really recommend that you size down. If you trade futures with us, maybe trade the micros. Also maybe take less trades and take profit a bit more quickly, right? I mean, like I just took an entry over the bill at 17. It's now at 65, right? I'm up over 50 points, which is over $1,000 per contract in 3 minutes or less, so for most of you, that is enough to flatten and say, hey, I'm done for the day. Don't let greed get in the way of consistency and confidence.
Damn freaking right.
Down 150 points.
Here we go, guys. And like I said, 10-minute EMAs are bearish. Price is below VWAP. There's no higher low. We likely continue to the downside, okay? I'm up over 100 points right now. I'm up. This one mini is up $2,100.
My man.
You now probably have retail panic selling as well after Trump reposted that video claiming he's crashing the market on purpose.
He posted that?
Yep.
That was absolutely wild. I could not believe. Me and Evan were on Spaces watching the thing, like, what the hell?
Yeah, and with a fake Warren Buffett quote too. It's insane.
That's probably not the smartest thing to do. Was that on his Twitter?
It's a Twitter post of a TikTok that he posted the link to on Truth Social.
Wait. Can you say that one more time?
It's a video from TikTok posted on Twitter that he posted on Truth Social.
Okay, so he posted on Truth Social.
Yeah.
Okay. Brain had to comprehend that one once more.
Here we go. There's another 100 points right here, guys. I'm just riding this mini here. I'd like to hold it alongside 10 and 2, right? 10-minute CBC is short. The 2-minute EMAs need to sustain. Again, I do see like a micro little head and shoulders there at 18,032 on NQ. If we break that, I'll set another trailing stop loss because then I should be up, 200 points. It can get really ugly. I don't see a bullish case down here other than like maybe some sellers taking some profit. But, I had a lot of people tagging me yesterday. Oh, I'm in calls. I'm in a reversal bounce. I'm this, I'm that. And then I had to run them over, right? Like, don't do that to yourself today, please. Sit there, react to what price is doing, trade alongside larger participants in the market. That is our job.
All is well. Procter and Gamble is green.
Here we go. We just broke the bill, 18,100. Be careful, guys. 10-minute CVC short, 2-minute CVC also short. 2-minute EMAs are bearish. No longs. Don't even think about it, please. Just scalp the momentum.
Okay, they're trying to bounce a little bit, but I'm not going to grab anything yet.
All right, guys, we're at the neckline here. I'm up, dude, this is so crazy. 160 points right now.
Beautiful.
$3,300. We'll see if we can break down to the next bill at 18K. And please take profit, everyone. Okay, like, don't sit there and be greedy. You don't have to be like, you don't have to be a hero. Take your money, lock the account, enjoy your weekend.
Why does my computer do this, dude? Deletes the screen. Yep.
Let's change the title of the spaces. Something more like
Help.
what dash what, or like what's happening, or
Save me. Save me. I've been Zabala here.
Again, I said this earlier. I'm 26. I'm a long-term investor. My time horizon is decades. I clearly have been buying a little keys as high today for sure. Well, that's of the free trade. We go off this piece. Definitely taking your own risk and stuff, but I do buy a little. Saying here what you guys are talking about here. I was like, it's too crazy we did not come out and hang out.
So you do VOO?
I would be concerned right now for the shorts. We did just hit that inverse head and shoulder neckline. Doesn't mean a long, but if you mark a fib from the low of day or the session low to the highs right there at 276, we're just now tapping into that golden zone right at 18,000. Maybe we get a 2-minute EMA pullback, but I can't trade along until the 10-minute CBC flips and the 2-minute EMAs cross. So just be careful. I do have a trailing stop set on this position. But crazy volatility.
The VIX is on track for its highest close in 5 years. A weekly close.
Fulfilled. filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
I mean, buying the dip
Order
the
filled.
same day the sitting U.S. president reposts a video saying he's intentionally crashing the stock market. It's pretty tough.
Order filled.
Yeah. VIX is at 40 here.
Order filled.
Question is, what are we buying? What are y'all buying?
TTD's
Order
almost
filled.
at its
Order filled.
new bear market low.
Order filled.
I feel like it would be crazy to not scoop up Apple. And I mean, just your blue chips.
here.
Dude, I love Apple. Don't get me wrong.
Order filled.
Apple's the GOAT.
Order filled.
He's the second GOAT since
I
Trump.
bought some Amazon this morning too, a single stock one if we're talking. I've also been buying this Q-Top ETF. It just holds a lot of the larger stocks.
Order filled.
Okay, we're trying to push higher. Our question is, where does that put us?
I'm long, guys. I'm long a lot. I'm up
Hey Alexa, play Pump It Up.
70 points.
Go, Frank. Go, Frank. Go, Frank. If I held my short from when I texted you at 5 a.m. Oh my. I grabbed one MNQ short here at 148, but I do want to grab a little higher. Let's see where we go here. Hold on one second. 148.
It's 100 points.
Order filled.
Good shit, Frank. I grabbed one at 148. I'm hoping they give me a shot to 186.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
I'm out.
What a G. That was beautiful listening to that. The sound of money being made.
Yeah,
Order filled.
that was big. Big, big, big.
Would you say huge?
Over 10.
Hey, yo.
Let's go.
I love when you talk in third person.
Yeah.
Shit gets me dead every time.
That's when the logic has to kick in and like step into the emotional side. I feel that.
All right, settle down. Like, it's over.
Okay.
NQ short, 2-minute EMA risk. I'm looking for a bill breaker potentially. Super risky because I don't have the 2-minute flip, so be careful here.
I'm short too, but I still only have one M and Q. So I'll let this play out a little bit because I was fine with it going a tad bit higher, but this was a spot that I wanted. So far, you can see we have had some resistance around here, but they keep trying to test it higher. ASML is green, just went green. What else is green? Anything else that I see? Home Depot. The Depot.
Oh, good morning, crew.
Good morning, sir.
Happy NFP. Happy Friday.
Good morning. Were you live this morning?
We were live on the stock splits.
So you're only there on Fridays now, right? You said?
Yeah, only on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Evan had a request for just rename the spaces.
What should we rename the spaces then?
Oh, no one did it. Anything. Market in turmoil. We suck.
Market turmoil. Facts.
No, do it like big down day. Do you feel liberated yet? Question mark. Liberation live.
Yeah. Do you feel liberated yet? FAFO Friday.
If we get under the 9 on the 2-minute, I'm going to add one more to my MNQ.
Evan,
What's up?
I just DM'd you a quote from Kramer this morning that you'll want to use later.
NQ, I got stopped.
Right. I got a call. Yeah, you want to use that for your new.
You get it out.
That means the market's probably going up.
Why? What he what did Kramer say?
He said he was making comparisons to October '87, which I was there as a young guy. Said that anyone who was bottom fishing yesterday or today, or bottom fishing Thursday and Friday during that time period, was sleeping with the fishes on Monday. So funny. I think the fear trade is probably, go home long, but, small. This is not going to end like tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday or next week.
I don't think so.
Damn, I just got wigged out. I gotta wait for that 2-minute to flip here short on NQ, and then I'll try it again.
I had my stop at 203. We got to what?
Fuck, dude, they really just
197. Holy shit.
I take the NQ short again, 10-minute CBC risk.
We are getting awfully close to 5:10:27 on SPY. We're Yeah.
I could take some long-term ads.
So on my purchase,
494.
the reason I bought so much was it was at the April NFP low.
Oh, did you buy shares, Frank?
I bought NQ.
Oh,
but,
gotcha. You're trading.
But QQQ was trading there. NVIDIA was trading there on my 3 screens, and SPY was trading there at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that lines up. So I loaded the boat. Not like hundreds, but like in this market.
Oh wow.
Oh
I
yeah.
bought
The
like
volatility.
I'm not gonna
I bought
add.
like 45 minis.
Yeah, and with the volatility, 45 minis puts in some work.
Yeah.
Curious, Frank, because I'm just curious when I think about it. 45 minis. At that point, why not just do? Oh wait, or micros. Wait,
I was buying micros
you just buy micros. Yeah. So at that point, why not 4 minis? I guess I'm just curious.
because like that way up
You want to be able to scale out more still.
Of 40 points, I sold like I think I was long 47. I sold 12.
Okay, gotcha. I see.
And then up 100 points, I sold like the half of what I had left, and then I just let the runners run it and just hit all out.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because you can scale, and you
You
can
scale
protect
more.
it,
I get that.
and it allows you to breathe. And actually, the last 16 I had stopped at break even, and I was just like, I had to stop in. I just kept on pumping them out. You guys heard it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And it was a counter trend trade, so like I out at some point.
Yeah, it's a quick one.
I covered out from 55, from 48. Sorry, at 98.
With Bitcoin holding up.
I'll look to buy.
I mean, this could be. It could. It could be. It could be an inverted head shoulders. Also, could be an H. Right now, it's looking more
Yeah.
like inverted, but on the 5. But
I didn't do this
People-
yesterday. But I did it this morning. I bought put spreads for Qs 5.5% out for today. I mean, I'm going to follow my rule, 200% stop. And I went small size, so it's going to be a small loss if that happens. But I mean, buying a 5.5% out on a 3% down day, I'm going to give it a go. I didn't do it yesterday, but I gave it a go today. It looks like they want to try to test it a little bit higher. So like 230, maybe even get VWAP at 290.
yeah. Well, I think if we get through like 290, or if we get through 260, if we get a close above.
I got stop NQ there.
If we get a close above 235, I think we're going to go a ripper. But we'll see. This is kind of the neckline right here. A little higher. Neckline's actually at 255.
That's 80% on MSTR calls. Gonna take a trim. Bitcoin is ripping here. Wow.
The coin of bit.
Bitcoin a bit.
Ooh, 10-minute. Nice reversal candle there on NQ. I think there's a strong possibility they do try to test that VWAP because we're already getting over the 21 EMA on multiple time frames. The only one we haven't done it yet is on the 15, which we just wicked off on that top wick. So I'm watching around that 280, 290 area on NQ. That could be a possible short.
Oh my God, it's only a half hour into this thing.
We got an hour and a half until Powell.
Frank, it's time to heat up the account again.
Yeah.
And it could make you rich. So why is
Oh, was this the Kramer quote? This is the most avoidable decline I've seen in my career.
No, it was more about the crash of '87. But like, he is just too much. He was getting really emotional on the TV.
He tends to do that on big red days. He's probably got a lot of fan mail out there with the sob stories.
That's when you need to stay calm, when it's fucking like this.
Yep.
I'm like a cucumber right now.
Breathe.
I like the third person approach, Frank.
Yeah, you talk to yourself a little bit. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I hit the NQ long 2-minute EMA risk.
Don't hate that. Right into volume point of control too.
Amazon is climbing straight off the open. 3-minute, every candle is green.
My friend this morning while we were at the gym, he's like, gonna buy some Amazon shares at 167. As of right now, he is definitely happy.
Microsoft's green.
I wish he now. Oh yeah, she just went green. Yep. Google's almost there, 0.4%. Do 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 da da do do da. Okay, I just added to my spread a little bit. I grabbed very small shares in TLT. Gonna hold those for a little. Do you feel liberated yet? I like the title. That's funny.
I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Wait, what am I? Why do I have a... That is interesting. Just went to my Top Step, and I had no orders, but apparently I'm in a long. That doesn't make any sense. What is that? I'm going to have to contact them on that. That is very interesting.
It is wild how many like weird
Yeah. I just came back. I was down like 200. I was like, yeah, I didn't do that. Okay, that is interesting. I have to contact.
Does it show you have a position?
Yeah, I closed it. I'm contacting them right now. Because I didn't have one. I didn't have any orders.
Look through your trade log. Maybe it was a stop order.
Let me see.
Yeah, I got stopped there in NQ. This is super range unit right now. I guess the move really is just trading off of that 10-minute 20 EMA. Getting chopped up a little bit. Lost 1,200 on that last one.
Oh, yeah. Dumbo mistake. I guess I never canceled all. It is what it is. First time I did that, that's for sure. Okay.
Well, at least it's only a couple $100 and not in the count.
Yeah, it was 190. I'm still green on the day, which is
No big deal.
oh yeah. Still green as a bean. Okay, let's see.
Look at that, Cambodia to lower tariffs in U.S. to 5% from 35%.
They're believing in it. The plan is working.
On some U.S. imports, well.
Ooh, the Q's tapped the bear market threshold today.
Yeah.
Yeah, this morning.
All right. Get down to these lows. Let's see here. Quite choppy morning so far.
right?
A little certainty, but back to where that move really started from this morning.
Here we're at opening lows. Sorry. Yeah, we broke market lows.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Come on.
Yo.
How short are we? I can't believe we got this. Dude, we got the same exact moves 2 weeks in a row. It's beautiful. Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, fake everybody out. Wednesday high. And then you say bye-bye.
Ow.
Oh, body. Oh.
All right, 20-point gain in Q. I'm gonna. Oh. Wait.
He's like, what?
Wait.
Where's the green candle? I don't see it.
Yeah, this is a bill breaker. Hold on. All right, 30 points right here. I'm gonna take half off.
I think the level for top step traders on NQ today is under 742. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, we're under 18K here.
So under 742, probably don't expect to get filled on any of your positions.
Gold's coming down back to 30.50.
Yep. On ES, the 5% limit is 51.61. So make sure top step.
The 10-year down 2.6%. You don't see that every day.
That's good. What he wants.
Yep.
That was good.
Hey, what'd you think of that Buffett quote in that video paper?
What? I missed it. What was the quote?
Trump posted a video. So someone made a video. Trump reposted to his Truth Social, and it's saying basically Donald Trump just crashed the market by 20% on purpose. Here's why.
Oh. Because of the 10-year?
Give or take, it's treasuries and yield and stuff like that. There's
Well, yeah.
a fake quote from Buffett in there. He actually posted that video too.
Well, I think we're making a lot more. We're erasing a lot more debt with the 10-year going down than the tariffs are doing. That's true. As long as it stays down. What did Tommy say yesterday? For every 10 basis points
is 30 billion of debt or something service.
Yeah.
I actually have that clip. I was waiting for it to get edited a little bit better. Should I just pull send?
I mean, you can do both, right?
There's 5,200 SPX. At 61 or at 51.47, we'll be down a full 1,000 points from the top.
Tesla 245 put 10-minute CVC risk.
Oh shit! My Palantir Putas. 76.
Guess what finally filled the gap?
What?
Snowflake.
Oh, the $50 gap?
The earnings gap.
Oh.
127.
He's not pretty. Are you gonna do your DCA today, Evan?
Paper, I have been buying so much in my long-term account.
Really?
I'm still this whole day, whole morning. Yep, I've still been buying.
Loaded at the close.
What'd you scoop? Let me shatter you, bro. Let me shatter you guys.
Nothing yet.
I want to feel what it feels like when trades don't go my way and I get to blame someone else.
Is fucking Maple not muted?
No, he's talking to you.
I'm short Apple. I actually have some Nvidia hundreds that I didn't say anything about, but you know, it's what it is. I got some Robinhood $40 puts that were an equity hedge.
Okay, I did a small long on SPY here.
I will probably buy Robinhood if I see 28 to 25. I will probably load the boats.
Tesla breaking pre-market low, $50 per contract gain. I sold half.
Paper. Another thing you'll love is it's coming up on its 2022 bear market TD.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's weird. Amazon and Google, I had the 2022 top retest or something, and I was like, we gotta wait. And I'm pretty sure they're well below 175 on, yeah. Unfortunately, I look at Amazon today.
Yeah, Amazon's crazy strong this morning. Evan, you got TTD on your watch list for long terms?
I do not. Do you want me to add it to my watch list right now?
It's one of my favorite companies. I'll say that.
That's enough for me. Listen, watch list is literally buying one share. I'll do you one better. Buy like 10 or something. We'll see what happens. You know what? Do I put it in my IRA?
TTD?
Yeah.
Hard to say.
You know what? I think paper would have said a fat no. I'm gonna do it.
No, I just think there's a
no.
there's
I speak.
something,
I speak.
Yeah,
paper.
I'm gonna keep buying it.
there's something weird.
Keep going lower.
Right there, perfectly. See that candle?
By the way, I do make my portfolio free to view in real time, Maple. I'm not one here who's like paying for my trade. I'm just some random 26-year-old investor in the news. My trades are not worth paying for, but I do open the nest above for the news aspect. So,
There goes SPY
for the
calls.
transparency aspect.
SPY calls are doing well here.
A remainder NQ there, break even.
If you guys want a contra indicator, when I buy, you sell, and when you sell, when I sell, you buy. Boom, cover the nest above.
I'm showing my SPY calls.
Buy some hoodie here, dude. In your IRA. And then if you get below 30, buy some more. But it is like 25s on hoodie. Maybe a little bit lower. It's the biggest fucking head and shoulders, dude. was my level on Apple? It was like 170s something. Apple's kind of tough. Do you know Apple hasn't even retested those prior highs? Jeez. It's at 2023 highs. It's not even at 2022 highs. It's 180. Retest overlows here.
So the 21 on the 2-minute. Possible rejection. I'm in puts on Qs. Got filled on 425 puts for Monday expiration. Reject off the 21 on the 2-minute. Also, algo trend line right here at 55.
Well, paper, these NFP levels are going to be a doozy.
Dude, they keep moving on me, bro.
I'm getting confused with last April's NFP levels.
No.
Does it erase after time, like older levels?
Well, that's a personal setting. Like you can have it. You can choose how many you want to show, but that might like right now you kind of have to have a lot on there because we're so low. Because you just want to know where the next ones are.
Okay.
Yeah, all I have is like back to last January.
You can edit it. It's totally customizable. So most of the time you have maybe like 5 to 10, but right now you need like 15 plus.
Oh, there goes our puts.
We are retracing so much. Net volume is just gross. Tick has barely had any kind of positive, like anything. ADD negative 2,400.
QQQ puts up $45 a contract here.
That might be the highest.
Beautiful, bro.
That might be the highest I've ever seen on ADD.
Yeah, or lowest rather, but yeah. I concur.
The highest negative number I'm at.
Yeah,
whatever.
I took NQ short 2-minute CVC risk.
Love it.
Wait to tell us after the fact.
I'm trying to get my Tesla puts down to about 243.
I covered one. Wait, what the fuck?
No, you're gonna crack 240 if this goes.
It just covered both. Why?
35, but I don't know. Like IV is a little wonky.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this volume shelf that goes from like 243 to 239, something like that.
Dang, VIX hit 45 this morning.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was watching it when I was at the gym. I was like, damn.
Look at that bounce right at that NFP low. Oh gosh. Walmart's not doing well. Amp. Where's Amp? I have Apple 185. We're about to be in the money. What happened to VF Corp? Dude, it's down like 30-something% in like
That one was crazy yesterday.
Oh, dude, wild.
All right, trade desk added to the watch list.
Shop. You could do Shopify. You could add Shopify to the watch list.
Okay.
Dude, Palantir 75. Dude, it has not stopped drilling all day. You have GE on your watch list?
I don't think MG. Tesla broke new lows again. Meta also doesn't look like a bad short. 10-minute EMA is bearish. Price below VWAP. CBC
Is it under
short
5?
as well.
You got 5.
Concerned though at that 509 kind of buyer here.
Yeah, I might hop in this Tessie short with you, even though you're probably doubled. I might fucking say fuck it.
Yeah, Maple scalped it earlier too. I've just been holding.
Yeah, I'm up 100 a con right now. It looks good. I mean, 240 would be a great target.
Yeah, it would be 240 puts. 240 puts are still pretty cheap.
The fear greed index is in single digits.
Yeah, it was at 6 this morning. What is it now?
4.
Yeah.
I'll take a little bit.
Is that the lowest we've ever seen?
I don't think so. But obviously, it can't go much lower.
It can always go lower.
Oh, yes. Market could go lower. The fear market, whatever, fear greed index can't really go that much lower.
Oh, the fear of greed, yeah. I don't know how many
Still
more
can drop
ticks
by
that thing has.
100%.
When does it go negative?
I saw a post. It was like Tom Lee starts selling everything or whatever is the next like notch over. I thought that was funny.
Bro, the fear and greed index is about to go into drawdown.
Can it do
I'm
that?
sorry, but again, I mean, I'll say it over and over. That's hilarious when you look at SPY on a bigger time frame.
Well, the thing is, like, it's you look at it, you're like, yep, it was short the whole time, and it's all right there.
I mean, we should have known with all the big analysts coming in at the beginning of the year, all fucking bullish. Come on. Now they're all bearish. Mm-hmm.
40-point gain in Q, covered half.
Almost all of them. As soon as JPM starts to flip bearish, I'm like, now we get a bounce. Now it's time.
All right, I'm gonna sell half the
Tessie coming up on that prior low.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell Tessie. I'm gonna sell half of Tessie up here over down.
I don't see a double bottom.
I'm gonna scale as well right here. $190 per contract gain.
Oh damn, they are moving fast.
I'm gonna sell.
I just hopped in on those too, and I'm like, whoa.
Well, I didn't want my top step. I didn't want to close both my shorts on top step, but I like double closed it. It was weird.
Are you coming up on keys new low?
Yeah, SPY's about to break pre-market low.
Jordy, look how accurate these NFP levels are.
Those QQQ puts are really just grinding here. Up 30%.
Grinding there, big grinder.
Yeah. $85 a contract, 30%.
This is pretty much 20%. This is pretty much bear market territory. We're getting close to it. I see like 1775. I'm looking at it too. What am I doing?
Take off the last.
From the all-time highs?
Yeah, 20% off option price.
Look at that squeezy bounce, but like, what, The fuck? It just got sold into. Hey, get out of there. What are you doing?
Ooh, we're almost 4% down on SPYs.
Yeah. Oh my god, these contracts are ripping.
Is 7% circuit breaker?
Yes, 7. Q's, I'm moving my stop up.
Less than an hour to pound now.
What's he gonna say? I don't know what the fuck's going on.
He's got economic outlook is the topic.
I don't know that I've ever seen a circuit breaker on SPY. Have you guys?
Yeah, COVID.
Dude, wait, Knots, I think then, were you and I the only ones that were, like, active then?
No, everyone else here was active.
No, I was not. I had
Oh.
So, like, it was, like, 3 days a week. Circuit breaker.
Yeah, I think it happened a few times, yeah.
I'm sure it did in 2009, but I wasn't trading. I mean, I was investing. Obviously.
Yeah, I was not of age or even thinking about the market at that time.
Would be like you get this crazy, like, oversold pop, and then slap. Bam.
VIX back over 40 right here by 1 cent.
All these QQQ puts are just cooking. Okay, we should get a bounce here. We're seeing long wick after an inverted hammer. If they drop it under that inverted hammer low, though, here. I'm still short, though. So no matter what, I either get stopped out or I just watch.
Palantir down 10% now.
New lows.
That thing held up so well. I was like,
Oh, we're gonna be in the 400s next week.
Oh, you just saw it? I posted that.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
I've been saying for the past few weeks that QQQ is going to hit 380 to 390 where the 200 SMA on the weekly is, and we are just getting there day by day, closer and closer.
So, like, the 200 weekly SMAs in general line up almost perfectly to a 50% retrace from the 2022 lows to the 2025 highs across the board. So there's a lot of confluence there.
Up $140 a contract on the QQQ 425 puts, over 45% here.
Let's go, bro.
Damn.
Raising my stop.
Pretty short coin. I fucking missed that. It was on my screen too. Affirm down almost 20%. APP coming in on that 175. If anybody was trading for that gap.
I did not want to close my short. Why the fuck did it do that? That is so annoying. Oh my, the drain is there.
120 points here now on NQ. Please manage this trade.
They're draining it.
Not bad.
Russell 6% down.
Oh,
His circuit breaker.
will it? Dude, it's been so long since we saw Circuit Breaker.
I know.
Evan, when was the last time we saw Circuit Breaker at the index level?
I have to look for. I mean, my God, 2020 would be the answer pretty much for all of them.
Yeah. Who'd have thought Trump brings the circuit breakers back?
Make circuit breakers great again.
Man, bro. Oh my God.
This could be their shot at ripping it higher into the 9 or 21 again.
11:25.
I'm going to get stopped soon. Got 54% so far. They're going to push into the 9 here.
Trailing stop loss hit in profit there, NQ.
Reshort it. My add back. Free market lows retest on the SPYs does not look like it's getting over.
He's hungry too.
Yet.
What's that in the water?
Keep short until it tells you not to.
Apple need. Oh, that's not your loss. Well, I took these 195 puts a little earlier. Let's see. I'm getting close.
Zebra's two colors, black and white. Now your turtle.
I want to move higher. Come on. And then
Tessie puts
short it.
all over the place.
He's trying to bounce off that volume shelf, I think. I don't know. It feels more like shorts covering to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was asking. We got like 45 minutes to Powell. Use your stick. Nope.
They didn't even get it to the 9 this time. That's how weak that shit is. That's literally how weak that shit is.
10-minute CBC risk.
That's what I was saying. Dude, Palantir about to do what?
They stopped me out of my puts. No.
This is like, well, you go back in the Wayback Machine. If you put a stop on the puts on the Wayback Machine, you would have gotten stopped out every time. So it was more just about scaling profits.
Yeah.
Because shit would get like very bouncy and then insta sold. But it was also like half the time the circuit breaker's on, so you're like, well, I'm sure. Don't know what's gonna happen. You remember
It was like 5,100 to me today.
you remember the TVIX?
Yeah. Didn't they get rid of it, or is it still there?
Oh yeah, they got rid of it.
Yeah.
But that was the jam. I think everybody cleaned house on TVIX.
I never traded it.
Really?
Okay, if they push it here, they're gonna go to the 21 at 970, just about.
Down.
Sam Altman says GPT-5 is coming sooner than expected. That's a summary, a very long explanation.
I really don't think that the market cares about it right now.
It's just exciting. The Ghibli images are going to be that much better. I'm about to post an Instagram reel. I need a song. I think I'm going to actually put the Cambodia story first. I think that might actually do well. But like,
Always look at this shoe drop. Oh my god.
Right, Jordan?
Here we go. Give me 817 on NQ. Give me 817. Let's go. Fuck yeah. 35-point gain. NQ covered half.
Oh yeah.
817.
I need some good dad rock type songs that encompass negative energy, bear market, stuff like that.
I'm literally listening to like indie sad dad rock right now. Just come on my stream and take whatever I'm listening to.
Come on, she's flushing, baby. Get it.
Someone put the plug back in the drain.
Stay low on NQ coming in here. 820.75.
Jesus.
Oh!
Or is that might just be the low from? Yeah, that's low from earlier this morning. I bet.
240 puts at the money.
Bye.
Oh, Apple putas in the money. Coming in at the lows. Hoodie new low.
Tesla, we're at $400 per contract.
Oh, you're in the
Mhm.
same ones as me? The 240s?
245s.
Oh, shit. Everybody, so, just side note, people were like, dude, you were trading in the pandemic. It was this easy back then. If you were able to see the difference.
Same, just kind of different. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the sitting president shared a TikTok saying he's crashing the market. It doesn't get much more clear than that.
Yeah.
Guys, that's 100 points on NQ. $2,000 bill. Slam dunk.
They're killing it.
Look at Tessie. $500 per contract.
Trimming Tessie.
Yo, forgot to ask you this morning, PK. What was Tick at?
It was trendy. -13.
Oh yeah.
As trading goes negative 1503.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. If anyone's trading at prop firm, we're getting to that 5% negative 5% level, so be very careful.
What's the number? What's the number?
742 on NQ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck that, bro. I'm out. 2 racks.
Yeah, bro. Mates, don't fuck with it, bro.
I'm out.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yup, it's not worth it, man.
The drain is just
We're coming
unreal.
down to the same level on ES as well. It's, oh god, I have to scroll forever to find it now.
Wait, so either 10-point gain all out. GG's.
51.
That's why we got some options rolling. We got Tesla.
There you
Tesla
go.
paying right now.
There you go.
Taking a trim on these Apple puts.
So if IWM gets down 7%, it's all good.
That's what you said.
That's what you said.
No, it was a question to you. Oh my god, Apple 192.
We are officially 1,000 points, ES, SPX points from below the high.
Dude, you guys remember those Palantir puts? The fucking 250,000 flows for April fucking 60s, April 25th, 60s. They've gone from $50 to they're up 500% right now.
At this point, I mean, we are just draining. Do we get a halt on Qs and SPY?
I mean, we got to go down 7%.
Yeah, I know. It's still a long ways, but
Is SPY gonna be $500 right now? What the actual fuck?
Yo, don't even trade props right now, guys. You will risk your account. You will risk your account. Do not trade the props.
Nvidia coming in on 90.
Dude,
Oh,
I
the
don't trade props.
humanity.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted with Nvidia.
468.89 on the VU is one of my long-term levels.
Oh, testing your low.
Man, if I didn't have to sell, I would be so much right now. I hate these limits on prop firms.
Get the fuck out of the prop firm, bro. What's the point?
It's insurance,
can you not?
right? So I try to teach all new traders this, right? It's insurance, right? Yes, I could totally load up a 10, 20K account.
No.
I'm
Hold on, hear me
human.
out.
I'm emotional, right? Like
Hear me
everyone's emotional. If I have a bad day, tilt, revenge trade, it only takes one day to fuck all that up, right?
What about Ninja Trader? It's super like low margin requirement.
No, for sure, and I understand that, but I just trying to guide newer traders, especially with insurance. If I have a bad day trading prop, and I lose my funded, I lose $100 or $200, right? And that.
Yeah, but Mabel, you never have a bad day. What's wrong with you? Trade with your ass every day.
I know. But again, the risk environment and mindset it puts me in just it helps out so much. I mean, and why does it matter, right? Like I'm trading the options. We're in Tesla 245s, looking good. I will load one up. Maybe I'll do a challenge.
Average daily range right there on SPY.
Yeah, crazy. Maybe I'll do a challenge account, but as of right now, look at these prop firms as a form of insurance for the trader, right? On any given day, I'd rather lose $200 than lose my ass revenge trading in the market, you know? All right, all out Tesla, $420 per contract. Blaze it.
All right, blaze something right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was a negative 1,500 tick again there. Almost.
I just went long Qs a little bit.
And we just flipped positive on that.
Sell it.
Got to get to the 9 here at least. So another 30, 40 points.
And Powell hasn't even hit the stage. Holy guacamole.
Come on. Get up there. Get up there, big girl. Okay, Q's up 10% here. And I'm going to trim right to the 9 because that is a bad spot. Okay, I trimmed 340. Stop break even on the last. May push us to
I think
21.
Jay Powell comes in and saves us all.
Guys, we are fucked.
Even a mean little
Guys, we are not cutting. I think
does the market think that he comes out and says we'll consider a cut?
I mean,
so one thing, NFT this morning. Sorry, I'll go back to you a second. First of all, if you guys are following the speakers up here, shout out all of them. Shout out to co-hosts, they're great. DK, everyone else up here, great follows. NFT this morning, there was like no move in this market off of that data, and it was meaningfully off of what was expected. Who would even notice if? I mean, I guess the market does care about Powell, but
yeah, we had a lot of revisions too, though. Negative revisions.
Come on.
I did buy a nice little bit more chunk of Qs there on the day. Honestly, I may have bucked a little too much here. But keep going. All right, everyone, if you owe me money, you know where to find me.
He needs it.
gotta remember too, economic outlook is big because basically we forward looking now see a recession. So we rushed to price that in because it wasn't priced in before. But forward looking, the market will bottom before the economy, and it will likely top before the economy as well. going to pin a little chart, little sign chart, just as a reminder of how these cycles typically work and how forward-looking can make these big moves to the downside and inevitably the upside once things look worse or better than priced in.
Well, COVID market bottomed at the absolute worst.
Yeah, COVID market was weird too. Because like it trained people to think that low rates meant and cutting rates meant bottoming. However, it spurred like an anomalous super cycle of consumer spending because all these people were home.
Yeah. And then like what, Zoom and Amazon started to go up way before everything else.
That was definitely not the norm for super cycles. So don't go thinking the Fed cutting rates. If you scroll up in the thread of the tweet I just pinned, don't go thinking the Fed cutting rates is typically a bullish sign. It was in 2020 just because that cycle happened so fast in that recovery.
I have a post. I don't know if it's funny or not.
It's always funny, man.
Basically, it's saying like I need more money to buy. Let's do an ad for a company, and then I did a link to the earnings calendar.
I like it. That's all that matters, Evan.
All right, let's check in and we'll delete it if it goes bad.
Grabbed one M&Q short here. Now that we're far away from, or not far away, but
Well, because we got Powell coming in 30, we might actually bounce pretty hard.
You know, they did this yesterday, right? Like they hit the limit down or whatever you want to call it, right? Where they shut the tops off under that, and then they fucking ripped it.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe they do the same thing. Maybe they got the same HFT going right now.
Firm traders, they're out to get us.
Yeah, we gotta go higher to go lower.
Yeah, but the market has something to look forward to right now.
those QQQ calls. Let's see. Up 360, up $40 a contract. Go, baby, go.
Back to negative tick. See if this bounces. Net flows have not shown any life at all, even in that bounce.
I raised my stop on the QQQ calls, and I do have one M&Q short. But I have orders up above.
Oh no, this is the worst news I've seen possibly in my lifetime. Nintendo to delay Switch 2 pre-orders.
Oh.
By the way, I'm not gonna lie, I saw like people posting that on Twitter yesterday, and the battery life for that thing is absolutely horrific.
I will only play it plugged in, so I don't care. Big TV or in 4K or bust.
I covered from 880 to 850 right there. I still have my Qs long there. Didn't get stopped yet. Only have one contract left though, but it's been a splendid day. The futures account would be much better if I didn't have a mistake.
Here, since we were just talking about the economy and cycle, here's a thought that if, just to consider, not saying this is the base case, if the economy holds up better than and doesn't, and we don't get lagging, recessionary looking data, then the market will rush to flip its forward looking thing in and say, actually, we didn't hit a recession. Just basically more similar to the COVID crash than the 2022 bear market.
Wow, our QQQ calls are up over $100 a contract. Oh my god.
Take it.
Oh my god.
There's no we.
Sorry, it's only me.
Vietnam and Crocs are going to save the market.
I think we rebalanced to this 18,071.75 here, that previous high we sold from.
I grabbed one short here on MNQ at 975. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Welcome to the gulag.
Evan, there's a Nintendo ticker, NTDOY.
I've been kind of testing out doing it less with the ticker because, for stuff like that, because for me, people are going to find that one more through, okay, so tickers are good for stock people. I don't think that's the story that stock people are going to care that much about. I think it's more like a general one. So I think when I screenshot it for Instagram, I think it looks better without the ticker.
Yeah, you did have a drop in Nintendo on that news, though.
Yeah, keep using the ticker. I would tell you to keep doing that for sure. No, I think it's advisable.
For audience, that's NTDOY.
I've been experimenting using less of the tickers. I'm looking now, honestly.
Well, this is 5 VWAP and or blow.
It's a lot of VWAPs. Yeah.
Mean reversion?
They're just anticipating Powell.
Vietnam wants to cut their tariffs to zero.
If he doesn't say what they want him to say, it's just going lower.
I think it's just going to be lip service to try and keep confidence up.
Yeah, but the market can bounce for the next 30 minutes while they anticipate it.
For sure. He's going to sell the idea that the economy isn't as bad as feared. But whether we believe it, that'll be the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And we won't know for months out, honestly, from now.
Does he even try to sell it, though? That's the question.
I think he does. They take very seriously, the impact belief has on the actual mainstream.
Yeah. That's true.
We just hit that level, that would be all out of longs for me there.
Look at Jordy.
Let's go.
No, I didn't trade it, unfortunately.
Oh, pack it up.
Price limits.
I'm sure it won at 42, 41, 43.50, 43.50. And I have QQQ puts from there.
On my stream there for 40 points. There's one little runner.
Yeah, for one, I keep going to previous highs of 238.50. I mean, that's fine. That would be the spot for me. from where my entry would have been at basically at the loss limit. It's 283 points. Holy shit. This volatility is wild. $1 reward ratio. That gets me really excited.
Holy moly. My puts are fucking cooking already.
Yeah, we hit target, so let's see what happens when we rebalance to 943.50 here. See if we can hold that imbalance or we run right through it. If we run right through it, we should go right back to the lows or where my entry would have been.
Holy fucking shit. I'm trimming.
The volatility is just wild. You can scalp half a candle and fucking. Wow.
All right, so here's what I think is happening. We're in a true social market right now. Trump said he had a productive call with Tolam, General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam. He told me Vietnam wants to cut their tariffs to 0.
Nike? Is Nike going to react on that? Nike, big reaction on that upside.
I'm telling you, BK, it's Crocs. Crocs is the one.
Crocs is a better brand than Nike. I'm just from a risk-reward standpoint. Just
Yeah, actually, probably is.
Up over $100 a contract here on the QQQ puts. My lord. Stop and profit on the futures too. Up over 100 points there.
Just am I a truther now? Were all my posts fake before, and now are they true? That is my question.
Yes, all your posts are fake.
And now they're true.
Truth market news.
He is the truth. Okay, I got stopped in profit on Qs and MNQ, so I'm all out of everything.
wow, Crocs now 2.8% green. That was an $8 jump on that. Holy guacamole. Oh my god.
You guys.
Oh no. Okay. Trump says this would be a perfect time for Fed Chair Powell to cut interest rates.
Oh, buddy. It's a wild world out there.
Holy shit.
All right, Trump. Well, speaking in 15 minutes. Did you say bye-bye? Is that what I just heard you whisper?
Yeah. Man, let's see if we get displacement over this high. If we can, maybe QQQ can reach that 238.50 next high internally. We need strength over this 71.75 though.
Oh God, what a day! What a day!
Currently, Lulu and probably some other names are in bullish engulfing candles on the daily. That Crocs daily candle looks insane. There's $100 reclaimed on Crocs.
Dude, like Amazon is just completely bucking the trend.
Yo, is he buying?
Yeah, they're going for highs. Or the recent high. The recent.
Could you imagine Amazon and TikTok Shop, bro? The impulse buying that would commence.
Absolutely. The U.S. consumer wouldn't stand a chance.
Bro, I'm saying they already have like what is called like haul beta, right? It's just TikTok Shop, just a bunch of Temu shit. But they're already rolling that out, you know, and in my hopes and preparation for Bezos to buy TikTok, which would make sense, right? Elon has X, Zuckerberg obviously has Facebook, Meta. Bezos is missing a niche there.
Let's see if we go for VWAP
On what?
on Qs.
Oh, you're over.
NQ, sorry. I need to specify.
I cannot even fathom what out the money Crocs calls just did on that move. Low of day on the 98 Crocs calls were 5 cents, now going for over 3. Wow.
Power that paused the US IPO.
They saw the market and were like, I ain't getting in that.
Well, SPY so far, or I guess respecting my weekly level from August, I would still love to see this market go lower below and hit some other weekly levels I have. But I definitely took some opportunity off that level in the long term. It's basically been low a day so far. I'm not so certain to think that it's low a day though. We'll see. Maybe not. What I do see is we're getting strength over these highs. Looks like NQ can make its way to 238.50.
Did you get his pill?
No.
Before going lower if it needs to.
Brody?
I want to see them hit VWAP.
What a day! What a day! I'm just in shock, honestly. There's too much going on at once.
Seriously.
That's why I completely have my blinders on. All the noise gets cut out, and we just do what we know. You have to in this market, man, or else, you either never survive or never take any opportunity.
EK, you should do like that prayer circle tweet for Powell.
Yes, you should.
Make your own Powell. There's one man who can save us all, and his name is
Well, I did that meme. Let me see if I'll find this in the meme.
Could you imagine emergency cuts?
That would be insane.
Come on. A little bit more. I'm waiting. I'm not doing anything here yet. Then they hit the algo trend line.
I put that in the nest that he had at Vietnam.
Yeah. They just hit algo trend line hot, top of the trend line there, but I did not grab anything. It was not.
SPY over VWAP. This is now over 110 point bounce from the lows and within the last hour on SPX.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wowza.
The floor today, honestly.
I grabbed one short up there, right at the algo trend line. I have orders up above by VWAP too, so
I expect this to get back to that 238.50.
very possible. I might cover it here. I'm already at 30 points.
A spot here that we're trying to reject on the lower time frame, but I just bump it up to 15 minute and 30. Just ran through what we should have held if we're extremely bearish here.
I have a stop and profit actually already. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, beautiful.
It's only one M and Q. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking possibly we hit VWAP, so I was gonna add more up there, but so far no. Up $150 though, and up 85 points. I'll take that. Something like that.
Hard to believe Amazon almost at 200 on Wednesday.
I was gonna get some puts, but I was expecting to grab them higher as well.
Baba has finally broken that range to the downside. We've been talking about with a lot of net sell delta over 130. It's now 116.
Okay, I got stopped in profit.
just disrespecting bearish order flow over and over. Let's see if we get these to 38.50 and then 274.75. That's where I have to expect a slap. Let me get over that level, but we'll see.
StubHub also delays its IPO plans.
Well, they rejected that level that I shorted before. I don't know.
All right. May Jerome Powell liberate us all.
Speaks in 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
Is he going to answer questions or is this prepared speech?
It's at a panel event thing, so I think it might be. He might take questions. Let me see. It just says speaks, and no one else is on the stage. So. I'm gonna try to find out real quick, friend.
Yeah, we'll find out in a minute. I have it up. I'm watching. If you just go into YouTube, go to lives, you'll find it. Or I'm sure someone's streaming it on X. Let's see.
Hey guys, pleasure making money with you all. You guys have a great
You
weekend.
too, boss.
I will catch you all on Monday. Evan, I'll be on your space, bro.
Hey, baby.
You guys take it easy. Love you, Jordy.
Love you, brother.
Make
See
sure,
you
as
later.
listeners, you guys are following all of the speakers and the hosts, okay? We put in a ton of hard work and effort every single morning to provide you guys the best trading space there is to offer on X. So, take it easy. Love you guys.
Have an amazing weekend, bro. You deserve it.
Good morning, Mabel.
Good morning.
We need a little silver chat here. A little reminiscence, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute. That was funny.
Let's see.
Shopping back.
Oh, geez. Powell has been saying, let's see. What's Powell saying? Reserve Trump tariffs bigger than expected, risking higher inflation, slower growth.
Did they publish his speech? I don't see it.
Yes. That's what it is.
Speech is being read off right now.
Oh, big drop.
Come on, baby. Come on. Right.
I was gonna short again up there, but I did not. I'm happy someone did.
Chairman, bigger than expected. Too soon today will be appropriate path for monetary policy. Wait for greater clarity. Paris likely to raise inflation in coming quarters. More persistent.
Okay, I'm back. Did I miss anything?
Yes, Powell's press conference just came out. It's being read out right now.
Also, they're reading out this entire thing. He hasn't even walked on stage yet.
Oh, that's too early.
Filled.
Covered half.
Wait, what did he say?
I just shorted it when it came on. 103.
Dog. DOG.
96.
I got to short again.
That's 200 points. 180 points.
My man.
Dog.
No,
Yeah.
all the long-term stuff I bought this morning was just.
Ensure price hikes don't lead to ongoing inflation. You must leave that economic impact of tariffs likely to be larger than expected.
Ooh, that candle just changed things.
What's the market doing? I haven't even looked.
Running disrespecting analysis. What's going on?
You're on the internet. You could pretend to be anything. Like an elderly man's bank.
I get those goosebumps every time.
Just unfiltered internet. Angie has 30 years of experience finding the best pros.
Choose and better. Perfectly perfect. Really exists for limited time. Crispy token. Skip the wait. Make our after first thing. The future of AI and sustainability is powered by.
Okay, short.
Bro. Powell not. Oh, so not cutting rates, Powell, or cutting rates, or what?
He says it's too soon to say what will be appropriate policy.
It sounds like he's ready to knock, though. That's what I'm hearing from this.
Gorilla Technology stock symbol GRRR on the NASDAQ. Every 15 seconds, someone cures cancer. At the American Cancer Society, this is why we're here to help people through their entire journey.
I was ready to be there for them.
All right, don't even see Jerome on stage yet, still. Just so we're all on the same page. I don't know if someone else sees it.
The conference themselves calls.
Yes, he's on stage.
It may be more than just the speech.
He's reading out everything that the squawker just read to us.
I hear him.
Summarize the outlook for
Here it
the
is.
economy and market.
We are draining.
Was supposed to launch its IPO on Monday, and they're at stuff on it. They're ticket guys obviously. They were starting the IPO next week. They also have all of their IPO plans. Tell us how they back. Check the markets, please. Let's have a look now. Let's go down here. $1,400 on the down, $650 on the NASDAQ. That's 3% across the board. Actually, look at the movements. We start with narrow brands.
Why does this guy look like he's talking at a community center in Arkansas?
He is.
It looks like a really bad thing to go see.
This looks like the one in my hometown that was built in '74.
chair that's gonna swallow him. He's a little guy. Come on. Inflation much closer to, but still above 2% goal. Uncertainty is high. Downside risks have risen. Well, closely watching the tension between hard and soft data.
We're looking for we found some dildo. Yeah. Switch to. I know, this is really
Need some more long-term stuff to buy. Somebody throw me some ideas. Hey. I already nibbled that one this morning. Hey. No, don't tell me Rivian because I don't believe you.
Yeah, Rivian.
Rev.
Don't believe you. In my Ron Burgundy voice. Somebody say AMD? Hell no. I bought some AMD this morning. Expose them. I have any day. $80.
the stocks will be up. So why? They're going to pull it down. I think the biggest one now is with people realizing that we don't just ship semiconductor from Taiwan to the United States. These semiconductors being shipped to different countries of origin, often maybe Vietnam or Singapore.
Okay, he's taking questions. Please stop taking questions here. I'll keep the type as loud as I can. The audio is not great.
He's got it. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time to speak to this group of business journalists. Also like to give a special thanks to Heather Wong and the Washington Post, who helped make this event possible. So for starters, sir, how's your week been?
Just fine, thank you.
Care to elaborate?
So far, so good.
It's so funny.
More questions. We were talking about the economy as being a very strong economy. You characterized inflation as coming down, employment as being very strong still. However, President Trump, earlier when asked about the market volatility we've been seeing, said the volatility was, quote, to be expected. This is a patient that was very sick. We inherited a terrible economy. A lot of voters did and do agree with that assessment, or at least in part. I'm wondering how you would respond to that assessment and the disconnect between the story of the data and the way a lot of people are feeling about the economy.
Sure. So let me just be clear at the start. I make it a practice not to respond to any elected officials' comments. So I don't want to be seen to be doing that. It's just not appropriate for me. But the situation, I think, is this: and people, when they're surveyed, they are unhappy about the economy. That seems to largely reflect the increase in the price level that happened when inflation was high, 2021, 22, and 23.
Reload this testing for
Back down to much more normal levels. Unemployment is low, the economy is growing, but people are still experiencing that high price level. In other words, prices don't go down. They know they're paying much more for the basic necessities of life, and they're right that they are, and they're not happy about it, and they're right not to be happy about it. So I think that accounts for the negative sentiment. We, of course, we're looking at inflation, which is the change in prices, and we're seeing that has come down quite a bit, and that, unemployment is actually low. It's sort of very close to measures of maximum employment, and the economy is growing. So all those statistics are good, but the price increases of the past few years are weighing on people's budgets.
So I'm from Milwaukee. I've been talking to business leaders, executives, and consumers in our community, in our region, the last few weeks, mostly before this week's news. Gentlemen, they're troubled and they're nervous. One business owner told me if there's a hint of a recession, we're cooked. And he asked me to share that with you. What's your response?
So I guess I would say, let's start with the fact that the incoming data right through this morning's employment report, which admittedly is from roughly a month ago, the week of March 12th, they took the data in. It still shows a solid economy. Unemployment's still low. I understand the uncertainty that's weighing on people. You ask about a recession. We don't actually, we don't make a probability forecast of how likely it is for there to be a recession, but many outside forecasters do. And many of them have raised the likelihood, albeit from very low levels. It's not something that anybody now is forecasting, or some people are starting to. And so there's not much more to say about that. I realize that the uncertainty is high. What we've learned is that the tariffs are higher than anticipated, higher than almost all forecasters predicted. We still don't know where that comes to rest, though, and we're just going to have to see that through.
At the congressional hearing last year, one of the U.S. representatives said that you were pretty boring, and you thanked him and said that you considered that a very high compliment. And in fact, I feel like it's one of the roles of the Federal Reserve, especially since the housing crisis, to be kind of a ballast, especially in the face of the volatility of the markets and the dramatics that we've experienced with the economy. Very steady, no surprises, very reliable. In a moment like this, which also has a lot of drama and unpredictability, but it is not necessarily from an economic crisis. It's by design, it's political. How do you see your role in this moment?
So I think all of the values that you touched on are, in fact, the values that we try to live by. We're driven by, analysis and careful thought and discussion and debate and the merits of things. We try to stay as far as we can from the political process. We don't look at political cycles or things like that. So I think people expect that from us. They expect us to tell the truth, and that's what we're going to do. But at the same time, we don't want to be part of the broader political discussion about the wisdom of policies that are not assigned to us. We're not responsible for trade policy, immigration policy, fiscal policy. So we don't comment on those. Decisions are made by others, and what we do is we use our tools to try to achieve the goals that Congress assigned us, which is maximum employment and price stability. So I like to think that over time we're a source of calm, rational analysis and also of stability. That's really what the business that we're in is providing: financial and macroeconomic stability to the public. That's really our purpose.
So how can businesses and individuals and the Fed make plans for the future when so much is being dictated by the actions of a single person? And do you see yourself as the consoler in chief on economic matters?
No, I think, take a step back. What's happening is, as I mentioned, the new administration is making significant policy changes in trade, immigration, fiscal policy, and regulation. And you're still just a couple of months into the administration, and that process will take place. And at a certain point, the new policies will be on the table. They will be having the effects they're going to have on the economy, and uncertainty will decline. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty about where all that's going to sort out, the forms it will take, and what the economic effects will be. If you fast forward a year from now, the uncertainty should be much lower. The actual effects of the policies should then be pretty manifest and clear. So I think I understand why it just is highly uncertain, both what the policies will turn out to be, exactly what they'll turn out to be, and also what their effects will be in the near term. We just have to go through that process, and it is just kind of a manifestation of our election cycle and a new administration coming in with new policies.
I mean, given all of the change happening and the fact that we are in a period where things have not settled in yet, and that the Federal Reserve and you as chair are very projection, data-driven, policy-driven, how do you handle a moment like now? I mean, can you tweak your plans and projections? Do you just kind of, do you have to reset them?
So, what we've had since in the last few months is from the staff has been a placeholder. Rather, they wouldn't call it a forecast because it's so and so. They call it a placeholder, and that's kind of how we've been thinking about it. So it's a good time to take a step back and let things clarify. That's why it's just too soon to say what the appropriate monetary policy response will be to these new policies. It is just too soon to say. We can't say with any confidence today. So that's what we're doing. We've taken a step back and we're watching to see what the policies turn out to be and the ways in which they will affect the economy. Then we'll be able to act. Fortunately, our policy stance is in a good place for us to do that. We're probably moderately restrictive, let's say. So it's not really tight policy, but it's which is appropriate since inflation is a bit above target. So we think we're well positioned to address whatever may come. And in the meantime, I'd say we're waiting for greater clarity before we consider adjustments.
This is always the Wisconsin told me that they can't make their plans. They want to expand. They want to build a new facility. They want to hire or do whatever the future calls for. They say we're trying to look around the corner. We're not even sure where the corner is, and we're not even sure what's around the corner. It sounds like they're in the same position as you are a little bit.
No, we hear the same thing. Of course, we have an incredible network of contacts with businesses and also universities, nonprofits, all different sectors, through the Reserve Banks and also through the Board of Governors. And that's what we hear. But again, it's a process. We're going through it, and I think we will know when we know what the policies are exactly and what their implications will be. That will all become clear. And I think that'll be a time when people can make decisions. In the meantime, no, I get it. We're hearing that a lot from people, and we are kind of in the same place, which is waiting for clarity about what our policy path should be. We'll have to see.
As you're talking about placeholders right now and having something in the place when there's so much that we don't know, it does occur to me that this is not the first economic shock that you have steered the markets and the economy through. Obviously, there was COVID almost exactly 5 years ago. It seems similar in certain ways with a lot of uncertainty, a lot of shock, also potential disruptions to prices and to supply, which is very much in the Federal Reserve's wheelhouse. From where you sit, can Liberation Day be compared to kind of the economic effects of COVID? Are they totally different, somewhat related?
I think each situation is different. There was COVID. There was also then, and the response to COVID, then there was high inflation, and then there was soft landing, and now we have new administration and changes in policies, and every situation it kind of rhymes, but it's not exactly the same thing. And so in this situation, what we face is what I mentioned in my remarks is you actually have risks for higher unemployment and higher inflation, and that's difficult for a central bank because our tools, which consist of interest rates, either slow down or speed up the economy over time, and higher unemployment would call for speeding up the economy, and higher inflation would call for slowing it down. So you could be in a situation, if we find ourselves in that situation, we look at how far each of the two variables is from its goal, and we ask ourselves, how long would it take to get back? And we weigh those things and make a decision about what to do. But there's no question that's a different situation, very difficult situation. When we faced high inflation, it was painful for the country, painful for the people that we serve, but we knew what policy we needed to be. We knew we needed to raise rates quite a bit. During the pandemic, we knew what we needed to do. It was very clear the direction that we needed to take. We needed to take with force, and we did.
It's almost a situation potentially where the dual mandate is at odds with itself.
The two goals are, as we say, in tension, or they may be. I'd say that's not what we're seeing right now, but it's the effects at the margin right now would be for higher inflation and perhaps higher unemployment, but that's a marginal effect. I would say you're not in a situation like we were in the 1970s where the two goals were really both pulling in opposite directions and required. It's just very hard for a central bank to to be the answer to a situation like that. But that's not the situation we're really in today.
One of the questions from the audience that we had is, if unemployment takes off and inflation takes off, which lever do you go for? Which lever do you, what do you do?
So we actually have we have a document called our consensus statement, or the longer version is statement on longer run goals and monetary policy strategy. And the 6th paragraph of that actually contemplates when the two goals are in tension. And what it says is, think about how far each variable is from its goal, and think about how long it would take for each to get back. So in a way, it's an equation. You're comparing two quantities which each have two variables. And then you say, you look at that and you think, what do we need to do? And typically this doesn't happen very often, but if one of them is further away, then you would focus on that one. In the case of high inflation, they actually both pointed in the same direction. The labor market was overheated and inflation was very high. So both of those called for tight monetary policy. This could be different, but again, we're not actually facing that today.
I feel like there's another tension inherent in your job, which is that you're looking at the macro economy, at the global economy, really, and the U.S. places in it. But also the data you're looking at is very profoundly human, as Jim has been pointing out. Jobs, I think, and prices are probably the two most human pieces of data, and certainly in our day-to-day experience, probably the things that loom the largest. How do you reconcile those two things when you're looking at the data, like both the global markets and knowing that the data represents a lot of lives and jobs and egg prices and things like that?
So I think at the Fed, we always keep a focus on the people that we serve, and we know and are very conscious daily that the things that we do have a real effect on people's lives. We know that, and it really does focus the mind. And I think if you talk to people at the Fed, there's a very strong commitment to serving the public as well as we possibly can. Economic events are just very, very unpredictable at times, and there are shocks that you can't see coming. But nonetheless, our job is to, whatever happens, use our tools to bring the economy back to stability, back to price stability, back to maximum employment. And that's what we do. But you're right. We try to keep everybody in the room with us when we're thinking about what to do.
So in response to the last round of tariffs, Harley Davidson, which is based in Milwaukee, moved some production to Thailand. Now the company might be whipsawed again by the new tariffs. It could be really devastating for sales, for employment, for the future of that company. But a lot of companies are in that same position. And what do you say to companies like Harley Davidson and their workers?
So it just isn't, I really want to stick to our knitting. I mean, we have this great thing called our independence of monetary policy, and that's critical for us to be able to do our job. But for us to keep that independence, we need to not succumb to the temptation to want to be a player on issues that are not assigned to us. And trade policy is one of those. There are many, many issues that people love to try to pull us in on, almost every issue, really. And we just need to stick to our knitting, not get pulled into those things. And so trade policy is a classic one. Energy policy is another. Climate change, many immigration is not really, although all of those things have economic implications, and it gets argued that way. But if we treated those as our job, the case for our independence would disappear. So I really can't comment on. I mean, we hear the same stories like that, but honestly, the policymakers who are charged with that, they're probably hearing the same stories too, and they're reaching a judgment about what's in the best interest of the country in the long run. That's what they are doing, I guess, and that's, so it's not for us to comment on that.
What happens inside the Fed at a moment like right now, when there's so much change and quite a bit of uncertainty, when you're watching things unfold? What does that look like, practically speaking? What are people doing inside the building?
So I'm very proud to work with the people I work with. I can tell you that in times like this, or times like the pandemic, where the global financial markets were shutting down, the global economy was shutting down, people step forward and they say, "We've got this." These are career people who were here for the global financial crisis. They've got 25 years, 35 years of experience with crises, and they step forward and it's just incredible what they can do and how good they are. It's a great honor to work with them. So right now isn't that situation. You know, we have the situation we have. So, you know, our trade people and our inflation people and our macroeconomists are all working hard to, you know, to kind of digest the news of this week and try to filter that into the forecast that they'll make. And policymakers are doing very much the same thing. And we're reading everything we can about what's happening and lots of outside analysis too. We don't have an FOMC meeting until May 6 and 7. So that's really a process that lasts several weeks, and we're not quite at that stage yet. But we're kind of thinking ahead to that and working through all of that. I will say though, you know, it feels like we don't need to be in a hurry. It feels like we have time to. Yes, it feels like we don't. No, I mean it's like I said, you have inflation is going to be moving up and growth is going to be slowing, but it isn't really. To me, it's not clear at this time what the appropriate path for monetary policy will be, and we're going to need to wait and see how this plays out before we can start to make those adjustments.
Question from the audience. One of our SABU members is: are you in contact with other central bankers in other countries at a time like this?
Yes, pretty frequently. Absolutely. I mean, and the same was true during the other crises I've been through. Not only that, though, we do meet very regularly. You know, the IMF World Bank meetings here in Washington twice a year. We go to Basel multiple times a year to meet. That's all central bankers. And there are also G20 meetings, G7 meetings where the central bankers are there. So we're kind of regularly meeting and talking. And when we're not doing that, we're also texting each other.
Is there a group chat?
I'm not at liberty to say. No, there's not.
And have you talked to those central bankers this week?
Recently, yeah, I didn't want to get too specific about this, but yes, I have.
What's their sentiment? Can you characterize that?
I'd rather, you know, again, I don't comment on what my international colleagues say, or it's not appropriate. But you know, we're talking about events. We're talking about the implications for the economy. We're discussing what we're hearing from markets and from business people, and for, you know, from the elected governments too. It's all the things you would expect us to be talking about on a regular basis. It's one of the best things about this role is that the central banks have a lot. You know, we're all non-political, so we think about things in quite similar ways, and they're real bonds. We're not lobbying each other ever on policy. It's just never. That's just not a thing, because we do our policy here, they do their policy there, but we develop really, really good relationships and bonds with them. It's one of the real pleasures and benefits, being able to talk about this, just not only with the great people at the Fed, but also with the leaders around the world.
I mean, it's interesting because it is a job of enormous responsibility and power, but it's also a job. How would you characterize the job of Fed chair? Like, how is it as a job?
Honestly, that's what it is. I really feel just like another person doing that job.
Really?
Yeah.
You just like...
That's how it is. I'm doing a job. I have a job to do. I actually really like the job. I like it a lot. I enjoy it. It can be stressful at times. Nonetheless, incredibly interesting, great people to work with, really important. You know, what more could you want? But that's what it is. And, you know, I'm blessed by working with great colleagues who are really committed to getting it right. I mean, fully appreciate how important it is that we get it right, and do everything we possibly can to bring the best thinking, the best analysis, and debate things, you know, over and over until we feel like we're in the right place. At the same time, there is no certainty in this. You can be wrong because the economy can zig when you thought it was going to zag.
So your term as Fed chair ends about a year from now. What do you think about your job security?
I fully intend to serve all of my term.
Excellent. I mean, as we're getting close to wrapping up, I did want to ask something a little bit out of the box. I think because you do have a position of such great responsibility, people are very curious about you, and I think people tend to read into everything a Fed chair does. Small gestures, word choice. I know part of our jobs in this room to pore over every word you choose. I did want to ask about one thing that I wondered about for years, which is your tie. You always seem to wear a purple tie, and every time I think I've seen you,
She's got the best questions.
Significance to that?
At the beginning, the only significance was that I like purple ties.
Okay.
But I will say, so then the next press conference, I reach for a blue tie or a red tie, and I go, maybe not, And so I wind up wearing purple ties, and then it becomes a thing. And now I definitely wear purple ties.
I love
Okay.
this. This is great.
It just felt a little awkward to be wearing one that was identified. We are strictly non-political. I can't stress that enough. We are not. It's not that we're bipartisan. We are non-political. We don't do that. And so purple is a good color for that. That's all. Plus, I like purple ties.
The color of royalty, Papa Pal.
Yeah.
I have one other Milwaukee question that I overlooked here, but in Milwaukee and other parts of the country, the housing market is out of whack. In our market alone, in southeastern Wisconsin, there's 5,000, the market's out of whack by like 5,000 houses that need to be on the market for it to have equilibrium. And a report this week that tariffs could tack on some $6,000 to the cost of building a new home. How long are people going to sit on their cheap mortgages from COVID? Thank you very much. And before they move on, before the market frees up.
So you have several things there. The first is we just haven't built enough housing, and we haven't kept up with the demand for housing. So there's an underlying shortage. Before the pandemic, there was a real housing shortage. And by the way, that's happening in many comparable democracies in the world. The second thing is, lock-in, as you say. There were very, very low mortgage rates during COVID. People are kind of locked in. It would be very expensive to move, and that'll of course wear off over time. And you also mentioned, the costs of materials that might be imported, lumber and nails and things like that. And yeah, that and also labor. A lot of labor from in the home building business has been traditionally immigrant labor. So yeah, the housing, the sort of new build market may face some cost pressures as well. That may very well be the case. That's what we're hearing from home builders, for example, both on the labor side and on the materials side. But even once these short-term things happen, we're still going to have not enough houses. And so it's all, I think for a long time, we're still going to see upward pressure on housing prices, maybe until population growth slows or until we catch up.
You mentioned that we're kind of in a period of waiting right now to see how policy ripples out through the economy. How long do you expect that to take? How long do you expect these big policy changes to show up in our day-to-day lives, in prices and supplies and things like that?
For a while, we didn't know what was coming on April 2. Now we know what came on April 2. We don't know. There's a lot more to be said about how all that shakes out. But
Amazon 170
you now know that the tariffs are larger than people were generally expecting. That much now at this point. And you'll know more as you start to see the effects on the economy. So, as the months go by, it's hard to say exactly when you'll know. But, clearly that learning process is ongoing. We're just seeing that these are new policies, not just the tariff policies, but the other ones as well. There'll be, important fiscal legislation coming up fairly soon. And there'll be regulatory changes, significant regulatory changes. You have to really look at all of that to see what the overall effect will be. So I can't give you a date, but all of that is now.
All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. It's been an absolutely fantastic day. I think we had 4 or 5 trades, all profitable, all went 20% plus. Some went over $100 per contract. It was absolutely fantastic. If you want to join us, check us out at bulltradefinder.net. I will be live next week. Hope everyone has a great weekend.